Hello, common people. You are watching Common Car Reviews and speaking to you is your lovely host Pepsi. This week's sucker made me almost mad. The Bellwitch Haunting is a 2013 found footage horror film directed by Glenn Miller, who should be ashamed of himself. But first things first, what is Bellwitch? Well, Bellwitch is a legend from southern United States, a folklore entity that haunted former John Bell Sr.'s family. They lived along the Red River in an area currently near the town of Adams. According to legend, this entity could shapeshift and made all kinds of mischief, like appearing in front of them as animals. It also pulled sheets off their bed while they slept, pulled someone's hair and scratched the children. This witch is surely a one menace. After some time, of course, this legend started to go haywire, coming up in newspapers and some books and stuff. So this found footage film is trying to capture this folklore legend for the big screen. We start this movie with a police officer who finds two dead bodies in the woods. After that we follow a family who had just bought a new house and is celebrating their youngest son's Colby's birthday at the same time. Colby gets new camera as he loves filming stuff and is almost the sole source of the footage that this film is portrayed through. He is joined by his father Scott, his mother Lisa and his sister Dana, and some odd group of friends that exist solely for being killed. Soon haunting starts and Bellwitch is on the hunt, and this house they just bought is on the witch's domain. So how did they do with this movie? Well, for the starters, Glenn Miller did the awesome move on the paranormal phenomena and decided that every time something happens on the camera it had to be announced by the increasing ambient murmur that ended with doors closing on themselves or lights flickering or some poltergeist action. People in the house slowly turned more disturbed as hauntings got new heights. First it was just some doors closing, but soon witch started to give night terrors to Dana, who for some reason decided to night after night stay alone in her room, even when every night she had to be shaked awake. Good thing in this movie was that it didn't have that many jump scares. I was actually pleasantly surprised that they did not depend on those cheap tropes that much. Of course there was jump scare there and there, but maybe I'm too used to have my ass cleansed every 5 minutes that I felt like it had so little of those scares. People started to die and stuff go crazy, and what did mother do? She called 911 multiple times, every time she refused to answer one of the questions they asked her, and ended the call short. But still police found their way to them, found bodies, found lost and stranded Dana and all that. So I am glad that 911 operates with telepathy these days. Colby filmed everything, including his sister's night terrors, and people were getting fed up on him being everywhere with his camera. They even installed some cameras to the house so we could get some paranormal activity style footage on the go, because every found footage film after paranormal activity had to copy it in some ways. Movie climax at the possession of Dana and the short exorcism that was tried by the local priest. Everyone, including Colby, got their share of the weirdness. Even the dad Scott got some, and he got this weird short burst of temper, denying anyone leaving the house because it was their home. His outburst was shortly forgotten as Dana disappeared and they went after her. Short story short, this movie broke some rules that make found footage film genre good. You don't announce stuff happening, that just ruins the whole purpose of found footage. Movie's effort to include Bellwitch's folk story to this film was clunky at best. Someone shortly reading about it from the computer is not enough to actually immerse me into the historical backgrounds of the place we are in. Some effects were nice, flickering lights and family going bit deranged from the haunting was done somewhat well, but it was not enough to save this film for its own sins. It was 90 minutes of time you could use to watch something better, really. And that's why the Bellwitch Haunting gets announcing scary things make them unscary out of 5. This review was brought to you by Common Car Reviews, and leaving this mortal coin behind right now is your lovely host Pepsi, and I'll see you in the next review. Goodbye.